Hello, I'm Vance Dykes, and this is part 3 of my personal vlog, Love at the Crossroads. So, in part 2, I left off talking about how I met this beautiful Native American girl who worked as a custodial cast member on the college program for the Walt Disney Company with me at Typhoon Lagoon for most of the 2017 year, and how we parted ways due to deployment and because her program ended before I returned to Typhoon Lagoon of this year, 2018. And I pretty much mentioned how I would still think about her, even listening to my John Anderson CD in the car, because one of his songs is about, Native Americans, the Seminole tribe in Seminole Wind. That was the name of John Anderson's song. Um, so, so I would still think about this beautiful Native American girl that I was working with, and I told my fiance about this. I told her about all of this stuff about how a part of me wants to have a Native American girlfriend eventually become my Native American wife, my Native soulmate. I told her about these desires, and I told her about this cast member that I was working with, and I don't remember exactly how many times we talked about it, but we talked about it quite a bit. And there have been times when when my fiance brought up her name in the conversation that we were having, and it would just be, even now, it's still causing somewhat of a stir in our relationship, and I'm actually getting to that part, so bear with me. So, when I went back to Typhoon Lagoon after working at Epcot for the late 2017, early 2018 year, what I mean is, in between, I was basically at Epcot from late 2017 to early 2018, went back to Typhoon Lagoon, I think it was late February, early March, maybe it was mid-March, I forgot. But basically, it was either in February or March that I went back to Typhoon Lagoon. And, well, I was going to put in a transfer to stay at Epcot because, I didn't want to go back to Typhoon Lagoon because I thought that, this beautiful Native American girl would be back there again, depending on how her college program worked, if she extended it, because she did extend it at least once. She was supposed to work at Typhoon Lagoon until like maybe late July or August, but then she extended it to January, so who was to say that she didn't extend her college program again for for an extended period of time. And so, even if she wasn't going to be there, there would still be some scenery and some music in Typhoon Lagoon that would make me think about her. And so I thought that I wanted to leave Typhoon Lagoon to stay at Epcot. And I put in the transfer, they accepted it, but then, because of how things were working at the time, I had to go back to Typhoon Lagoon. And when I went back, I realized that I had, in many ways, Typhoon Lagoon is like my temporary home. I'm talking like Carrie Underwood, temporary home. In a sense, yes, it's true. Typhoon Lagoon is like my temporary home, a home away from home. And, I love the park. I love the theme of the park. And another thing is that I have friends at Typhoon Lagoon that love me like a brother or like a friend, and I was really going to abandon that, so I decided to cancel my transfer, and I decided to stay at Typhoon Lagoon. But don't get me wrong, like I said before. Now, basically, this beautiful Native American girl, her college program ended in January, somewhere around that time period, because all I know is that when I went back to Typhoon Lagoon, she wasn't there anymore. So I pretty much assumed that she went back home to Arizona. And, well, like I said, going around that park and listening to some of the music, and even traveling around the Misadventure Falls water slide, it would bring back bittersweet memories. Just memories that would make me think about this beautiful Native American girl. And, well, there was a part of me that was thinking that, maybe I really do want to be with this person. I want to be with this Native American woman. and she's not here anymore, so it's like, what do you do? What do you do about that? So, and there have been times when, like I said, my fiance and I would talk about this, and this is one of those things that makes my fiance so amazing, is that she said that, you know, if I did decide to leave her for this particular girl, this Native American girl, or if I decided to leave her for somebody else, that, you know, she would be upset about it, but she would forgive me. She would let me go gracefully because she wants me to be happy. And, you know, that's just one of those things that makes me go, oh, man. You know, am I really going to leave this wonderful woman over what could possibly just be just an innocent crush? You know, because I do have a tendency to get confused. Sometimes I have a tendency to confuse an innocent crush for a very serious romantic relationship, very strong romantic feelings. Because any one of us could say that, you know, they feel the same way. They're kind of the same, you know. But the main difference is that with one of them, you know, you are willing to devote your entire existence, your entire life to this other person. Whereas to this one, you know, it might feel like you want to be with this person, but, you know, then you're gonna realize, okay, maybe this wasn't really what I wanted. Maybe I want something else, so I'll go to this person. You know, you thought it was just nothing more but just a crush. You probably didn't have any intention to get serious with this person. You thought about it, but it was just nothing more but thoughts. You know, thinking about it and doing it are two different things. So, you know, this is one of those things that just really got to me. It was like, you know, this was a situation where I had to choose. Well, I'm going to get to that part. Basically, so what I was doing, you know, because every day when I would go to work at Typhoon Lagoon, and when I would leave Typhoon Lagoon to go home, you know, after doing whatever it was I was doing at the park, you know, experiencing the park, you know, walking by the attractions, and listening to the music, all those bittersweet memories coming back to me, you know, they would make me think about this Native American girl and how much I was thinking about how much I probably do want to be with this person. So what I just started to do was I started to pray. I prayed to God, asking him that if he was willing, you know, to bring this beautiful Native American girl back into my life, at least temporarily, so I could have at least just one date with her, you know, just one date. One date was all I was asking for. You know, I did mention to God that, you know, maybe I want to be with this Native American woman except for my Filipina fiance, and maybe even get married to this beautiful Native American girl. You know, I expressed those feelings and those desires to God, but I pretty much told God that I would settle for just a temporary reunion and have just one date with her. Now, here's where things get very interesting. When I was looking up this girl on Facebook again to see the message that I left for her, you know, like one of those scenes in an old-fashioned sitcom show where some characters are going through like a cigar box that's filled with photographs and letters, note cards from the past, you know, just reminiscing on the good times that they had in the past, you know, and they would take out those love letters, you know. Basically, I was looking up my love letter that I sent to this Native American girl on Facebook, and I use a tablet, so I have Facebook Messenger, and Facebook Messenger has this system where in the top left corner of the screen, it shows the person's Facebook profile, it shows their name, it shows their occupation, and where they live. And from what I saw, it looked like that this Native American girl was still a cast member at Disney World, and that she was still living in Florida, in Orlando. And when I first saw that, I was like, she's still living here? And that pretty much took me aback, because it was like, why didn't I see her? And the reason I was thinking was that, you know, maybe she got stationed to another place. Wherever it was that she was deployed to, she obviously loved it so much that she decided to stay there, whether if it was Magic Kingdom, or if it was Hollywood Studios, or if it was Animal Kingdom, or... God, please curse Mother Nature. Anyway, So that was my thought, that maybe I didn't see her because she was somewhere else. She was stationed somewhere else. So that was pretty much interesting for me. Now, a week went by at the very least, and my fiance and I were talking about this again. I don't remember if she brought up D or if I brought up the fact that I wasn't happy in this relationship. You know, like I said before, this relationship that I have with my fiance, it's a great relationship, because she's very loving, she's kind, she's sweet, she's always understanding. She's not like other girls, she's not one of those radical feminists like Roseanne Barr from the Roseanne show, Roseanne Connor, Roseanne Dan, the way how Roseanne would sometimes treat Dan in the Roseanne show, she would never treat me like that. So it was like, she was really like one in a million. But, it's been a 5-year relationship with this woman, and we haven't seen each other in real life. We've just video chatted, we've messaged each other on Facebook. My fiance and I, we're both under less than ideal financial circumstances, so the chances of us coming together anytime soon is thinner than slim, so to speak. And, I'm 27 years old, I'm still a virgin, I suffer from sexual frustration from time to time, and especially being in a relationship with my fiance who's thousands of miles away in another country. When your significant other or potential significant other is in another country, and you have your carnal needs that you want to have met, and they're not being met, it just kind of puts a strain on the relationship. So in many ways, especially in a carnal sense, in an intimate sense, I really wasn't feeling satisfied with my relationship. So that was a factor. So my fiance and I would talk about that, and somehow we would bring up the Native American girl that I worked with at Disney. And sometimes, we would end the conversation, not knowing exactly where we were going to go at this point. So that night, when I was about ready to go to sleep, I just felt this need to get on Facebook and add her, this Native American girl, as a friend on Facebook, because it's probably been about 6 or 7 months since I sent her that message confessing that I had a crush on her. And, I tried to fight it off, but eventually, after about a minute or two, I just decided, you know what, I can't fight this, I've got to do it. So I got on my laptop, I went on Facebook, I looked her up, and I added her as a friend, and then after that, I probably added a few more people as friends on Facebook, and then after that, I just went right to sleep. Little did I know that same night, this Native American girl got on Facebook, and she accepted my friendship request. So the plot thickens. And I didn't find out about it until the next morning when I woke up. And normally my morning routines always consist of me getting on my tablet, looking at my emails, getting on YouTube, uploading another video to my Ventriloquist Vance channel, since that's my most popular channel right now, though it's not even half as popular as Matthew Santoro's channel. I'm a big fan of Matthew Santoro, by the way. Love you, Matt. Not in a gay way, though, don't worry. Anyway, so when I was looking at my emails, I saw that she accepted my friendship request. I was like, whoa, well, this is a pleasant surprise. So it was like 2 for 2. I find out that she's still living in Florida, and that she accepted my friendship request. And then a few more days went by, and I was at work, and I was in the custodial manager's office talking to one of our custodial cast members, who's been a custodial cast member manager for quite some time. And this guy, he's a really good guy. He's the kind of guy who will bend over backwards for you. But of course, all he asks from you in return is to, do what you're supposed to be doing out there. Because there are some cast members who choose not to go out on stage and make magic happen. They just decide to just stay in the break room and do whatever it is they want to do, mainly text, Fortunately, I'm not like that. I wasn't raised to do that. I wasn't raised to be that kind of a person. I wasn't raised to be a spoiled brat, so to speak. So, and another thing that makes our manager so great is that, you know, he likes for us to consider him more than just our manager, but as a friend, like a father figure, like a brother figure, you know. There are moments when he asks us, you know, how are we doing in life? You know, what's going on in life? And I told him about my dilemma, you know, being at the crossroads of love, you know, being engaged to one woman and wanting to be in a relationship with another. And I mentioned about how I was infatuated with a college program cast member, you know, the Native American girl, and even brought up her name. And when I brought up her name, he mentioned that he spoke to her not too long ago, and that she was coming back. And with that, I was thinking to myself, oh, the plot thickens. And I have to be honest, when I heard that she was coming back, my heart was racing so fast. It was like the Daytona 500 in my chest. I'm not joking with you right now. That's how I felt. Because at that moment, I really felt like that God was answering my prayers. I felt like, you know, these were 3 indications that God was answering my prayers in regards to bringing this Native American girl back into my life, at least temporarily, so I could have one date with her, at the very least. You know, first I find out that she's living in Florida still. She accepts my friendship request on Facebook after I feel the need to add her as a friend on Facebook when I'm trying to go to sleep at night. And then our manager tells me that she's coming back. And I have to tell you, it's one of those moments right now in my life, this time in my life where I feel like that I'm in a dark and depressing place, you know, trying desperately to try and get out. You know, it was like there was a gleam of light at the end of the tunnel, you know. This was one of those moments where I felt very happy. And I even told that full-time cast member that I told about my infatuation with this Native American girl, you know, and he was happy for me. You know, it was like, he told me that, you know, what you can do now is, you know, just try and take things slow and, you know, ask her out for a cup of coffee or something, you know, just try and take things slow. And even another manager there at Typhoon Lagoon that I really trust, she's one of those managers that overlooks the other managers at Typhoon Lagoon, a certain group of managers, especially custodial managers, you know. She's one of those managers that I trust, and I talked to her about this, and she pretty much said the same thing, take it slow. So, and there was one night when I was lying in my bed, you know, relaxing, that, you know, because I did send this person, this Native American girl, a message on Facebook saying hi to her. She didn't respond back immediately, but then she eventually responded, and I was like, wow, this came out of nowhere. She pretty much said, hi Vance, I hope all is well, and I said yes. And I think a day or two later, I just felt that I just couldn't contain myself. I just had to ask her. So normally when I ask a girl out, I try and do so in a certain manner where it doesn't seem like I'm coming on very strong, because I don't want to scare anybody away. You know, I like to have a chance to take someone out. So what I did was I messaged her on Facebook asking her if she would like to hang out sometime, you know, under the impression that she was still in Florida, asking her, you know, if she wanted to go to one of the Disney parks, or if she wanted to go out for dinner, or want to go to one of the attractions in the surrounding area, or maybe even, go to the beach. And then after I asked her, I said goodnight. And that very same night, when I was asleep, she did respond back. And this is where things start to, I wouldn't say they go downhill, but this is where things took a different turn. Not in a way that I was hoping for. Not in a way that I wanted. She pretty much told me that, she messaged me on Facebook saying that she wasn't living in Florida anymore, that she was back in Arizona, and that she was thinking about coming back to Florida for a visit. But she decided not to. She decided to save up her money for a trip to Hawaii. And I was disappointed, and pretty much all I could just say was, oh, I didn't know that. And then I responded with, my bad. And I just pretty much left it at that. I pretty much left it at that. And I have to be honest, I really felt like that this was one of those moments of unanswered prayer. I have to be honest, I don't think I've ever been more disappointed in an unanswered prayer in my life. Now, in a sense, that's kind of unfair to say that this was an unanswered prayer, because this was basically a series of misunderstandings. You know, she probably forgot to change on her Facebook profile that she was no longer living in Florida, that she was no longer a cast member for Disney World, and all my manager, my custodial manager, all he ever really said was that she was coming back. But he didn't specify if she was coming back as a cast member or if she was coming back as a guest. You know, so it was like, it was pretty much a series of misunderstandings, but I wouldn't say that this was like an unanswered prayer, because after all, I felt the need to add her as a friend on Facebook. I add her as a friend on Facebook. That same night while I'm sleeping, she accepts my friendship request. Because, you know, I live in Florida, she lives in Arizona. You know, the time zones are different. So she was, what was probably 10 or 11 o'clock here is more or less 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock there. I don't know the time zones. But I still felt disappointed by all of this. And even that full-time cast member that I was talking about, who I was talking about my infatuation with this Native American girl, he expressed how sorry he was that things didn't work out the way that I hoped that they would. So I guess the question now is, where does this leave me? You know, because in a way, I still have strong feelings for this Native American girl, even though it could just be nothing more than a crush. But then again, it really could be strong romantic feelings, and you know, maybe God wants me to be with this woman, or maybe he wants me to be with a Native American woman. And, you know, what do I do about my relationship with my fiance? I mean, after 5 years, you know, how can you just leave someone that you've been engaged to for 5 years like that? You know, how do you do that? If you were a jerk, if you were a heartless jerk, it would probably be easy, but I'm not a heartless jerk. You know, I just can't do that. That's just not in me to just pick up and go. So, as of right now, things haven't changed. I'm still praying to God about this. As of right now, I'm still engaged to my Filipina fiance. Right now, I'm not going to make any serious changes. I'm not going to make any drastic changes. I'm not going to make any, you know, serious life-changing changes, any life-changing decisions that could seriously not just affect me, but affect other people. I'm trying to take things slow. I'm trying to see where things go from here. Fortunately, my fiance and I, we have an open relationship, you know, after everything that I've expressed in these vlogs. You know, she says that, you know, she wants me to go out, get experience. She wants me to be happy. If I want to date other people, I can do that. And that's what I'm doing right now. Any girl that I have an interest in, whether if she's Filipina, Native American, maybe a white blonde or a brunette or a Latina, you know, anyone that I have any interest in who I think is attractive, I'll ask them if they want to hang out, pretty much saying that I want to date them, but doing so in a way where I don't come on very strong and scare them away. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm taking things slow. I'm talking to God in prayer, and for now, nothing has changed. That's where I am in my life right now. This is me at the crossroads, and I'm trying to figure out where am I going to go from here. So that's where I am right now. I pretty much made these vlogs because I want to get it all off my chest, and in a sense I feel that this is therapeutic for me to talk about all these things, you know, hopefully find some closure, and hopefully, you know, move forward in the direction that I want to move into, hopefully make the right decision. You know, if I decide to leave my fiance and pursue a relationship with a Native American woman, whether if it's the same person that I've been talking about in these vlogs, or if it's somebody else, you know, or if I decide to stay with my fiance, you know, whatever choices, you know, I feel like that by talking about this and maybe getting some advice from you, my viewers and my fans and my subscribers who've probably been in similar situations, you can probably help me out. That is if I decide to make these vlogs public, because right now they're just going to be private. So that's where I am right now. I am at the crossroads of love. It's love at the crossroads. So with that, I will say thank you for watching. Any advice that you can give me is greatly appreciated. And like I said in the last vlog, if you must criticize me, please do so in a constructive manner and not a destructive manner. And don't demonize me because of the things that I have said or how I may have said them. I'm not a racist. I'm not prejudiced. I'm not Lieutenant General George Custer. I'm Vance Silverman Dykes II. There's a huge difference between me and him, George Custer. He liked killing natives for whatever reason. I have nothing but love and respect for natives since some of my ancestors are Native American. So, once again, thank you for watching. Goodbye. God bless. If anything happens in the future, I'll let you know. I am more than happy to share my life experiences with you guys in the hopes that, not only can I benefit from getting everything off my chest, but also hopefully you guys can benefit from my storytelling. And hopefully if you're dealing with the same situations that I'm dealing with in life, you have some form of guidance to help you with the decisions that you make. Thanks again for watching. God bless you.